Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Hairy Muppet, and we are going to be casting game number 4 of the third place series of games of the HomeStory Cup number 7. Down in the bottom right side of the map, we do have our blue Zerg player, TLO. And up in the top left side of the map, we do have our red Zerg player, HyuN. And I gotta say, it still feels a little bit weird casting with this microphone, because I'm used to having the bloody headset hanging around my neck and with the microphone popping in front of my mouth. But yeah, this microphone's just up on the stand. It's one of those stands where you can move it around all over the place, and it just stays wherever you want. So beautifully balanced, and yeah, it's really awesome voice quality and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I digress, or digress, or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. This has been an absolutely awesome series of games, man. I mean, ZVZ games, always very awesome from a minute detail point of view. If you like Colossus going up against battle cruisers, and I don't know why you would, because the Colossus would get owned, but if you like that sort of game, ZVZ is probably not for you. But if you like to analyze builds to the nth degree, then there is nothing better than a ZVZ game for analyzing that shit down to the absolute lowest level. I mean, TLO here, 14 pull. That's almost certainly going to be a 15-16 hatch after it. There we go, 16 hatch. Whereas HyuN is going for a 14 or 15 hatch, one or the other. Is going to go for a pull after that. So, and then what can we say about this? Alright, first of all, TLO is going to get his first queen out a lot sooner. But yeah, I mean, HyuN is going to be able to get out 2 queens pretty much when this hatchery finishes. Now, HyuN will be able to build a little bit more up because they'll have the hatchery out first. But TLO will be able to start getting lings out a little bit sooner. So, from an economic point of view, it's arguable as to which one is better. I suppose the hatchery, you could say the hatchery is better. Well, of course you can build workers a little bit faster. But then if you build the spawning pool first, you can build the first queen a lot faster. Get that whatchamacallit, spawn larva thing going a lot faster. But of course if you build the pool, a hatch into pool, then you can start building 2 queens as HyuN is doing the second the hatchery comes out. So some might say that's a little bit faster. And it just goes round and round and round, and there's probably a mathematically correct answer out there. But really what it comes down to is this is a little bit safer from a defensive point of view, because you can get a lot of lings coming out a little bit earlier. And of course you can, if you're up against like a Protoss or Terran or something like that, pull early definitely gives you an early spine crawler, which can really help quite a lot. If you're going up against like a Protoss player rushing a Zealot out at you, I mean, lings are not going to do shit. I mean, you might be able to kite it with a queen, but a spine crawler will just wreck that Zealot's world. So yeah, really getting the spine crawler out really early helps you quite a lot. And the same with the Terrans, man. Marines just get ripped apart by spine crawlers. So very awesome, especially when they're doing a bunker rush, man. If you get an early spine crawler versus a bunker rush, then you are set. And look at this, man. TLO choosing not to go for these guys, going instead for he's actually lost a drone there. That was harsh, man. He had the queen as backup, but did lose a drone there. And HyuN doing a slightly earlier push there with some lings. TLO choosing not to get crazy amount of lings, or maybe the lings were building, so he held it off with a couple of drones holding the ramp because he didn't have the queens at that point. So a bit of nice attack there. HyuN losing a few lings. Actually, I think he lost 2 lings to kill 1 drone. So they're sort of paying for themselves, making themselves not completely useless, but HyuN really going for some good stuff here. We got the Baneling Nest, we got the speed going on. TLO going for the Baneling Nest, going for the speed, but he's a little bit behind. He's 1 worker ahead, but he's behind on the tech. And I gotta say, man, TLO seems a little bit scared here. I think he's pushing out for this third. That's probably why he's in such a relatively bad position, whereas HyuN has done some very nice harassment early on. But TLO being forced to get these Evo chambers down, he has to get a nice amount of defenses up here. And the question is, can he do it? I assume he can. He's got the Baneling Zest up, he's got the Spine Crawler, and he's got the couple of Queens, so I think he should be right. But that's a lot of Banelings, and they are going straight for the worker line. You see the cutting off the workers here, running in. Oh, that is just so nasty. This last Baneling there just doing a beautiful job. And that was extremely bad. That gives HyuN a 10 worker lead, and TLO is going to have to do something about it. He can't really counter because he barely had enough units to send off that attack. He's going to try for a counter, but it's not going to do that much because it's not like he built up a crap load to force HyuN off and just completely owned him. He built up as many as he could, and HyuN has already got that much built up again for his defense. So the counter's not going to work. He's pushing out, he's going for a third, and I guess these links were sort of a anti-third sort of a force as well, making sure that HyuN didn't send down a third. The Baneling's going to come out. You can see he's sending the single Banelings out for each of these guys. The Ling's going to be picking out the Banelings, just managing to lose that Baneling, so not good. You can tell when a Baneling is killed or whether the it actually explodes, because it makes a much louder sound when it purposely explodes, and when it just dies from somebody hitting it, it just makes a tiny little splush noise. So not quite as impressive. But these three Banelings going down, and if they can't hit any workers, they will hit any Lings, they will go for the workers. And the Queen going down, a bunch of Banelings just dance around with each other. This final Baneling getting all the way through, going to take a hit, and the Ling's going to finish off all of these workers, which got down to low health, so maybe 2 or 3 of them are going to go down. Excellent micro there from HyuN, trying to pick off the ones as the Banelings almost hit. But it does look like, man, HyuN all over the place here. TLO, I thought he'd finally got into a position where he was getting good with his army, but HyuN already had roaches out. And we'll see if these Lings can do what they need to do. Great block of the gate here from a HyuN, and the Ling's going to try and get some workers, but with Queens and roaches down, they're not going to be able to do anything. They're going to run off. The third base is nearly down for HyuN. It's already been up for TLO. But HyuN definitely has the army advantage so far. TLO is pushed back. He's got the workers back quite a lot, but it has definitely impacted his army production. He's only just now starting to get the roaches out. Meanwhile, HyuN already has a very decent amount of roaches, and yeah, from a defensive standpoint, HyuN is in a very, very good spot, and it'll be up to TLO to get this small worker advantage. Well, he had one. He's gone now. HyuN's built up a few more workers, but he's got to try and do something. He's got the hatchery up a little bit faster, but that's not really matter anymore. He's just getting a mad amount of roaches to try and catch up, and that is a good thing. It's exactly what he needs to do. Where's the units tab? So he's 6 versus 13, but of course HyuN going for infestors once again, and they worked in game 2, but they didn't work that well in game 3 because TLO, man, just somehow he just got the push he needed to go ahead and get the more units, and we can see he's definitely going for the Hydra a little bit earlier than he has the previous times. So he's going to go in, going to do some good work, and it's going to be Roach Infestor versus Roach Hydra once again. And personally, I'm bagging on the Roach Hydra to get it done. It does all tend to go down to who's got the better economy, of course. But the economy is relatively even. HyuN keeps pushing up a little bit forward. HyuN likes to get that nice little gap in front where he's got 3 or 4 more workers. But TLO always fills it up eventually. He always gets that little bit extra going. So he's not at the moment though. He's 6 workers behind. He definitely wants to fill that gap up a little bit. But yeah, he's getting the Hydras out. He's getting the tech going. HyuN's a little bit ahead in the upgrades, not a huge amount though. He's mainly worried about his infestor tech though, which I don't think the fungal growth damage jumps up with the ranged weapon attack. I don't believe it does, but I may be incorrect, so yeah, please do not quote me on that. Yeah, and HyuN going in here, TLO trying to make something happen, but he's really just going for a look, and he's not going to be able to do too much here. Meanwhile, another force coming in here, going to try and hit a 4th, but there is no 4th to be hit. He's going to wipe out these roaches though, so getting a nice little roach hit there. But he's got to be careful of getting fungled, because you would not want to get these guys fungled. Fungled is basically a death sentence. You need to run when your opponent has too many forces. And yes, getting fungled right up there would basically be a death sentence for those guys. But HyuN going to be doing a bit of a push out. TLO does have a very nice amount of forces going out here. He's actually got 1 armor, and these guys do not have 1 armor. So TLO definitely pushing the upgrades very nicely. And once he gets 2 weapons, was this Hydraless range? I don't know if he's going to wait for Hydraless range, but he's definitely going to wait for two weapons on the way. And I don't think these guys actually have speed. Do they have speed? No, I don't. Oh, maybe they do. What is this? I don't know. I do not know. That looks like Hydraless range. Oh, it's HyuN getting Hydraless range. I am sorry. I think this is Hydraless speed. Yeah, that's Hydra speed. Okay, so he doesn't have Hydra speed, but he does have Hydraless range. And yeah, these guys got to get in a better position, because Hydras open on the flank, not what you want to have. You want to have the roaches protecting them. And what are these roaches? Going to go in for a flank, but HyuN has somehow managed to get a very, very crazy army. I think he's sacrificing these roaches just to get the Hydras out of there. And it looks like they are going to get out of there somewhat. But yeah, a group of other Hydras back here. And this Hydra army is starting to get scary. These guys can just tear roaches apart, but the Fungals are going to be doing a lot of damage. And he doesn't have any roaches to provide a shield for his Hydra army. So a little bit too many Hydras. You can see he's trying to get roaches out here, but it may be just a little bit too late. And the Fungals going down on these unprotected Hydras is going to be too much. And HyuN getting some Hydras of his own in the end. Yeah, really, really awesome. But yeah, just I think he may have gone for a bit too many Hydras and just didn't have the positioning right. He went for too many Hydras. He had a massive amount of Hydras, but he did not have the roach protection. And yeah, that small mistake cost him the game in the end. Yeah, just not good at all. And you see, he did eventually catch up. He must be psychic or something like that to know exactly how many workers HyuN has, or maybe they're just following the same game plan as to how many workers they should have, and HyuN just keeps flipping a few pages ahead because he always seems to have a little bit more. But yeah, very, very close. And once again, Infesta Roaches beating Roach Hydra, but of course I think there was just too many Hydras, not enough Roaches to take the brunt. And yeah, just unprotected Hydras against Fungals, not good at all. So congratulations to HyuN for making that push and making it work, and TLO, we'll see how he does in game 5, because I don't know, maybe that's the first mistake he's made in this entire series, in my opinion. He may have made a couple of other ones, but this one definitely lost him the game. So we are going to move on to game number 5. It is going to be the ace match between these two players in the 3rd place match of the HomeStory Cup. And yeah, an ace match, we love when we get to ace matches, because it means we're dealing with 2 evenly matched players, and there is no way of telling which one is going to win. But we will find out in a second when I cast that game. So I will catch you guys later. This has been HyuNMuppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.